all have different strategies and ways that we navigate life, different ways to have fun or manage stress or get through uncomfortable times in life. A lot of people take substances and it does support them and does help them have fun, get through difficult times. But there are a group of people that take substances for such reasons and then find themselves locked in a pattern of taking substances. And generally what happens with this particular group of people is they cross a line whereby the pattern becomes habitual. They find it difficult to stop. The strategy that initially was making their lives easier starts to create problems. I mean, usually it begins as a fairly harmless, fun, recreational activity. It usually begins very innocently, and in the early days there's usually very little consequences to it. You may expect to see somebody kind of withdrawing from family life. Maybe they're spending a lot of time away from their family house. They're keeping strange hours, not turning up for important appointments. These kind of things we would expect to notice as a substance use disorder is developing. In particular, being defensive when maybe lightly challenged by people, and definitely swings in mood would be one sign. I mean, generally speaking, substance use disorder is both psychological and physical. The body adapts to taking a substance every day. So when you take away that substance, there will be some physical withdrawal symptoms. These vary from substance to substance. Similarly, psychologically, the comfort and relief maybe one gets from a substance, when that's taken away, there can be a feeling of unease, can have a detrimental effect on how we manage different emotions. There can be many different underlying causes to substance use disorder, and they vary from person to person. They would include such things as trauma, adverse childhood experiences, maybe undiagnosed psychiatric conditions. They can include developmental factors and the environment that the person has grown up in or lived in. New research has shown that there probably is a genetic component to substance use disorder and alcohol use disorder. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to develop, but some people may have a propensity toward it. There's also a behavioral or a social component to it. I think once a substance use disorder has developed, then it starts to monopolize a person's time and energy. This will affect their relationships, their family life, possibly their professional life or their studies. The first stage of treatment at the Kusnacht practice is the assessment phase, really. So once a person has made contact, key members of the team would speak to the client, assess where they're at, what their goals are, what they want to do about their substance use disorder. And we would start to assess how we can support them on that journey. This is the phase before they even arrive at the Kusnacht practice. It's very important for us to understand where their client's at and really understand what their goals are. Once they arrive at a Kusnacht practice, the initial phase of treatment is usually a detox phase where they get the full support of the medical team, the psychiatric team, the bio-art team to ensure a smooth detox from the substance as possible. Once that phase is completed, then all the teams at the Kusnacht practice will work together to help the client achieve their goals around their substance use disorder. This may involve the medical team, the psychiatric team, psychotherapy, relapse prevention, rebuilding their life, getting them on a healthy track, and helping them to establish a set of tools that they can use to make the changes that they want to make in their life. We would usually recommend an inpatient duration of a minimum of 6 weeks to give somebody the best opportunity to complete a safe detox and start to establish new patterns in their life. And then we also recommend a strong continuing care component to the treatment. Educating yourself about the options is important, and then during the discussion, you can make suggestions or float ideas about how they can best access support. You go at a pace that's gonna suit the person that you're talking to, your loved one. Probably in the early stages of when these conversations are happening, it's probably not gonna help to give the impression that someone's being forced to accept help or forced into a treatment pathway. It should be more of a team approach.